The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. Of course, my name is Ed, and we got Miss Carol with us this morning. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, everyone.
And my brother Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope everybody's having a great day. Great morning.
As Carol says, magnificent Monday.
There you go. There you go.
So, anyway, tonight on our interest groups, we have a double header with Mr. George Zavala. So we got starting at 6:00 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to do his advocacy group where, we try to teach people how to advocate for themselves, advocate for different issues going on around the city, with other folks and, just straight up advocacy work, right? I mean, that's the only way we can change anything. If we don't advocate for a change, then nothing will change. So, come on out and check that out. And then right behind that, we got his technology tips and tricks. So he's always coming up with something, make your life a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? A little shortcut to do this, shortcut to do that. So he likes playing with that kind of stuff. He likes challenges. So anyway, again, come out, check us out, 6 p.m. for advocacy, 7 p.m. for his tips and tricks. So, but anyway, other than that, we celebrated Pedro and Monica's birthday on Saturday. It was a great day. We had a nice turnout down there, and a lot of folks came and hung out with them, and so it was a great day. We were down in Inglewood. For those that don't know, Inglewood, California. I don't know if there's any other Inglewood across the country or not, but just to be clear, it's Inglewood, California. That's where the new SoFi Stadium is. So actually, we was right down the block from the SoFi. So like I said, we had a pretty good time. So
Yeah, we had a great time. The enchiladas that Monica prepared were good. She had some plain enchiladas, just cheese and chicken. Then we had some enchiladas. I think the green ones are a little bit with onions. It was bomb. It was great. It was good food. Good company. Some hard domino slamming over there too. I swear, I almost thought they broke the table. I was like, "Whoa, slow down."
yeah, that was
Yeah,
Daryl and Vernell.
well, yeah, that was some of our guests, but you know how people get with the dominoes, they want to slam them. The harder they slam, the more emphasis on booyah.
Oh yeah. Well, I remember them days. I wish I could still play like that. But I'm not gonna slow the game down. It's supposed to be a fast-paced game, and it's just too much to try to do it, blind. I mean, it's not that it can't be done. I'm not gonna say that. I know plenty of folks that do it. I mean, if it's a group of blind people, okay, it is what it is. I don't mind. But when you got sighted people you're playing with, no, I don't want to slow the game down. So, man, but I used to love playing dominoes. My goodness, I used to love that game. So
That's how I feel sometimes with some of the games when I go try to play like blackjack in the casinos and stuff like that. But I shouldn't feel like that because the game is there for me to play. You know what I mean? I just the ants, I get anxiety when somebody's waiting on me. I know y'all probably feel it when y'all trying to pay y'all groceries or something, and then you kind of trying to do your process of payment and stuff, and you feel like everybody's like, man, this dude don't hurry up, or this person is, you know,
Oh
and stuff.
well, I mean, we got to do what we got to do to make it happen.
That
Now,
is
that's about the only
true.
thing I do play. I will play blackjack at the casinos. Well, let me clarify. I will play blackjack in Vegas. I don't play blackjack at the local casinos. It's just no. I want to go where my odds are better. I'll play in Vegas. The dealers are always generally pretty good about making sure that I know where my cards are and stuff like that. I don't like that my cards have to be played face up, right? But it is what it is. I still play. I make money, so I'm good at it. Good with it, I should say. I'm not good at it, but
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas playing all the time.
Yeah, and the dealer's cards are always exposed, right?
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
no, they got one down until it's their turn.
Yeah, that's what I like as a blind person sometimes to strategize and see that and see the other people's cards to see how's it going with the dealer and you know because it's a strategy game. It's mostly the players against the dealer.
Right.
That's how you
Right.
all
Right. But again, you don't, I mean, us being blind, they see our whole card, but everybody else's whole card is
is down. I know.
is
I hate that.
down and until
Hmm.
they either bust out or whatever, right? So, but
Hmm.
I mean, it's cool. Like I said, I've made money doing it. So,
Yeah, myself also too.
so I'm good with it. So, but anyway, to get into some of these articles, they all over the place today. So, anybody that might be ordering things from overseas and stuff right now, they might be your stuff might be delayed. There's a few different reasons why, and we'll let the article play, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Today on Coffee Time, why your package from China might be late. A look at what's causing shipping delays in 2025. If you've recently ordered something from China, whether it's clothes from Shein, gadgets from Temu, or bulk supplies from a manufacturer, you may have noticed your package is taking longer to arrive than expected. You're not imagining it. A combination of new trade policies, customs changes, and logistical slowdowns is behind the recent delays in shipping from China to the United States. Let's take a closer look at what's going on and how it may affect your next international order. New tariffs, new timelines. It all started in early February 2025 when President Trump announced a 10% tariff on all goods imported from China. The goal? To address long-standing trade imbalances and reduce reliance on Chinese manufacturing. But in practice, the new tariff has created ripple effects across the shipping and customs process. Tariffs require additional paperwork, verification, and processing at entry ports, which means slower movement through customs for everything from electronics to fashion accessories. The end of duty-free imports. One of the biggest changes impacting consumers is the elimination of the de minimis exemption. Previously, if you ordered something under $800, it often breezed through customs without any duties or inspections. That's no longer the case. Now, all packages from China, regardless of their value, must go through full customs inspection and are subject to tariffs. This has drastically increased the workload for customs officers and created a bottleneck of packages waiting to be cleared. If you're wondering why your $15 phone case is suddenly late, this policy change is a major reason. USPS suspension and recovery. To make matters more complicated, the U.S. Postal Service briefly suspended the acceptance of packages from China and Hong Kong on February 4, 2025, as it adjusted to the new regulations. While this suspension lasted only 12 hours, it caused widespread confusion and delays that are still being felt weeks later. Packages in transit had to be rerouted, reassessed, or returned, creating a logistical pileup that's taking time to unwind. E-commerce platforms hit hard. Companies like Shein and Temu, known for their low-cost, fast shipping models, are now facing real challenges. These platforms operate by shipping large volumes of inexpensive goods directly from China to U.S. consumers. With new tariffs, inspections, and customs delays, these companies are seeing higher costs and longer shipping times, which could impact everything from product pricing to customer satisfaction. What can you do? If you're someone who frequently shops from international platforms, here are a few tips to navigate the current climate. Expect delays. Shipping from China is taking longer across the board. If your delivery window seems longer than usual, it likely is. Track your orders. Keep an eye on shipping updates and alerts from your retailer or carrier. Check for domestic alternatives. If timing is crucial, consider ordering from a US-based supplier or retailer to avoid customs delays. Look for policy updates. Tariff rules and customs procedures are subject to change. Staying informed can help you make better purchasing decisions. Bigger picture. These developments reflect a broader shift in U.S.-China trade relations and the growing push to revamp supply chains and prioritize domestic production. While the long-term effects remain to be seen, one thing is clear: consumers are feeling the impact now. Whether you're a casual online shopper or someone who relies on international suppliers for your small business, the days of fast, frictionless shipping from China may be on pause, at least for the time being. What do you think? Have you been affected by these recent delays? Are you reconsidering your go-to e-commerce platforms, or do you think the slowdown is temporary? Let us know what you're seeing and how you're adjusting. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
All right. Well, let me run down these comments right quick. God first says good morning. Joy says good morning. And there is in Inglewood, Mexico. Katie Taylor says she just got back from her NFB thing in Oregon, and she likes playing slot machines. And then also Monica said good morning. So,
Good morning, everyone.
all right. Well, so I mean, again, this stuff is just crazy. Again, these tariffs, and then taking away the the thing there about anything under $800. There wasn't any issues with that kind of stuff. Now there is, right? I don't know. I just wonder if that's actually a Trump thing, because I remember during COVID, I actually bought a couple masks that came from China. Well, it was actually one mask, but basically it was one that had a filter in it where you can change the filter out, but it also had verbiage on it and it said vote, 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 because we were getting ready to come up on the 2020 election, right? But anyway, that thing took over a month to get here. So I'm wondering, is this something he did last term as well? I mean, I don't know. I know he put, tariffs on a bunch of people even last term, but I mean, again, come on. I mean, smaller stuff like, like say under $800, whatever, that's an individual thing. I mean, take it easy on the consumers their way. I mean, for people that's, got major shipping and there's, whole sea containers full of VCRs or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? And now you're talking about big time retail. Not that I want to see them deal with tariffs either, not that I want to see our prices go up because of that, but it just makes more sense than it does with the smaller items. So anyway, that's my take on it. I mean, these tariffs are going to kill us. They really are. What you got, Carol?
I mean, I kind of agree with you. If I've got a $15 case coming in from my iPhone, I shouldn't be having to wait forever and ever just to get it. But if people are ordering in bulk for like their companies to, get this or that, I can understand the delay on those things. Not saying that they should have to wait, but $800. I mean, you can build that up in no time. So it might have something to do with the current presidency right now.
Right, right, right. What you got, Pedro? You over there being quiet?
Well, just a little bit. Yeah, like you said, the tariffs are gonna be heavy on all of us. Also, on corporations in different ways, including with hitting us in our wallets. And then now these delays and some of the guidelines has been changed. And I understand that something costing over $800 was getting a fast track pass in a way. And if you read some of the statistics, fentanyl is coming out of China and stuff like that, coming into United States, and sometimes even through postal services deliveries. I read an article about a chief up here up north. She got caught getting porcelain figures with things stuffed inside. She got busted. I seen another article about a CEO bringing it into jail, but sometimes there's some misconception about stuff like that. But when it comes to shipping, it's gonna slow us down. Things are gonna increase in prices, um, and if everything increases in prices, like utilities, accessories that we need for our home, like washers and dryers, stove, dishwashers, even some of these stuff that we need for let's say someone to come fix our faucet or getting a new faucet, a new toilet, and things like that may increase in payments. And we've seen some of this, an example as when inflation was happening. They said 40 to 50% of inflation was because of the companies knew they can blame inflation.
Right,
So that might occur in this situation if the administration don't put any type of guidelines and stuff. And
hmm.
I doubt they might,
Hmm.
but let's just hope. But just like how Biden failed in putting some guidelines about this, about the inflation, and I call it is greedflation. What it was for some of these companies, it was 40 to
Right.
50%, and and then now, there were no guidelines, and he failed on that part, to put some structural guidelines or go after some of these businesses doing this. Um, Hopefully that doesn't happen with these tariffs because, corporations are gonna be about their bottom line and make sure they can make that money in a hard time like this with this inflations.
Well, they're gonna make their profit regardless. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I said, it's no longer about customer satisfaction. Now it's all about uh, uh, shareholder profits. You know, so I mean, again, that's just where we're at right now. Katie Taylor says, "Welcome to Trump's trade wars." so yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
again, and so I mean, it's getting ready to get really rough. It's already getting rough. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, man, all we can do is buckle up and hold on. You know what I'm saying, and hopefully we can
Yeah,
get past this. And still, man, without going into Poe house. I mean,
yeah, and
it's just crazy.
yeah, it
Another
is.
hurdle.
Yeah, it is crazy too because I've been reading some articles about some big corporations buying extra material, buying extra things to sell for this year in a hurry before these tariffs come, and then when they're gonna put them in the market in their shelves, the price is gonna go up even though they bought them before the inflation. And you know, sometimes greed gets a hold of these corporations, their bottom line, and kind of stifles small businesses and independent businesses too, because these major corporations, they could buy in bulk, and these small businesses sometimes don't have access to capital to buy in bulk like that. So sometimes, they're going to be put to the side, and it's kind of sad to see, because what was America about? You could come and build your dream, you could come build your business, and and have equal how can you say, equal opportunity to go
Equal
out into the
opportunity.
market.
Look at Carl's Jr. He started off with a little cart. Next thing you know, he got hamburger stands all across the country.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
and that's kind of going away with all
yep.
this cost and all this. People said, how was Kamala going to help? And she had policies, 20,000, 25,000 for the first time home owners and business owners. Who was that gonna go to? The that was gonna go to the to the not majority, but how can I say it? To the small businesses, to the new entries that were going to create a business, and to the homeowners, because we do have a market that is putting their foot down on us from all different aspects, including realty and even selling and other things like that. So it is getting a little too hard for, that's why millennials are not able to own their home, or they staying more with their parents a little longer.
Well, well, on that note, the next article is a little bit about real estate. So we're going to jump into these promos and then we'll jump into the next article.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. You can go to customcane.com. That's custom with a K, guys. And what Custom Cane does is they sell cane and cane accessories. It's like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can get a pink cane, a blue cane, a rainbow cane, a Broncos cane, a Chargers cane, a cane with the Braille alphabet, a cane with your name on it. Whatever you want, whatever type of handle you want, whatever type of tip you want. If you want an aircraft aluminum cane, if you want an all-terrain cane, telescoping cane, any type of cane, Custom Cane has it.
Well, Katie said this America First trade war is going to send us into a recession. And Monica brought up another good point. They already beating up on the post office. So that's even more delay in us getting the things that we want to get. So crazy stuff going out here. All right, this next one is I'm still trying to figure this one out a little bit. I mean, it's about the percentage that our real estate agents are getting. So I don't know. Maybe we can figure this out together on the other side. Let's roll this and talk about it in a minute.
Today on Coffee Time, 6 months later, how the NAR settlement is reshaping real estate commissions. It's been half a year since the real estate world was rocked by one of the most significant industry shakeups in recent memory. In August 2024, sweeping reforms went into effect following a $418 million legal settlement by the National Association of Realtors, NAR. And real estate professionals across the country are still figuring out how the dust is settling. The big question, has the traditional 6% commission model finally cracked? Let's take a closer look at what's changed and what's really happening behind the for sale signs. The backstory, what sparked the change? The NAR settlement, finalized in March 2024, resolved allegations of anti-competitive behavior in the way real estate commissions were structured. The heart of the issue? A system where sellers' agents were expected to offer compensation to buyers' agents, which critics argued discouraged true market competition. As of August 17, 2024, two major reforms were implemented. No more mandatory commission offers. Listing agents are no longer required to offer buyer-agent commissions when putting properties on MLS platforms. Buyer representation agreements. Buyers must now sign a formal agreement with an agent before touring homes, outlining expectations and compensation up front. These changes were meant to boost transparency and competition, but the results have been more nuanced than some anticipated. What's happening to commission rates? Despite bold predictions that real estate commissions would plummet, we're seeing a more subtle shift. According to Redfin, the average commission for buyers' agents dropped only slightly, from 2.45% in Q4 2023 to 2.37% in Q4 2024. The effects have varied by market. High-end homes, slight reductions in commission percentages. Lower-priced properties, small increases in buyer-agent commissions to encourage agent participation. Mid-range homes, largely stable. So while the big drop hasn't materialized, the dynamics of commission negotiation are clearly changing. How are agents and brokers adapting? The industry response has been mixed, and the mood isn't exactly celebratory. 72% of agents anticipate a negative long-term impact on the industry. 48% feel less optimistic about their future in real estate. Some appreciate the clarity and professionalism that early representation agreements bring, while others worry these contracts may be barriers for first-time buyers or casual shoppers. One unexpected consequence? More open house traffic. With buyers needing to sign a formal agreement before scheduling private tours, many are now opting for open houses to browse without committing early. Consumers are asking more questions, and that's a good thing. Perhaps the most significant shift isn't in percentages, but in consumer behavior. Buyers and sellers are more engaged, asking questions like, "What exactly am I paying for? Can we negotiate the commission? What services are included in this agreement?" This transparency is empowering consumers and prompting agents to offer more clear value propositions, a positive evolution for an industry often criticized for being opaque. What's next? While the 6% commission model hasn't disappeared, it's under more scrutiny than ever. And as agents, buyers, and sellers grow more comfortable with this new normal, we may see deeper changes emerge over the next year. The bottom line? The real estate market isn't crumbling, it's evolving. And as with most transformations, the biggest impact may be cultural, a shift in how people think about, talk about, and participate in one of life's biggest financial transactions. What do you think? Are you surprised commission rates haven't dropped more significantly? Do you think these changes are making real estate more transparent and competitive, or just more complicated? And if you've bought or sold a home recently, did you notice anything different? Join the conversation and share your thoughts. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
So my thing on this is, okay, it says it's standard 6%. Here's where I'm confused. I mean, is that, the seller gets a piece and then the buyer's agent gets a piece? I mean, because it sounds like the buyer's agent is the one that's getting the low end of the deal. I mean, it's 2.4, now it's down to 2.3. I mean, does that mean that the seller's agent is getting, 3.6 or 3.5, 725, whatever? It's just not making a whole lot of sense to me, but I mean, that other thing about having to actually sign an agreement with your agent before they'll take you out to look at homes and stuff. Man, I didn't have to do that. They didn't ask me to sign nothing. They said they had some homes. They asked me if I wanted to go look at them. I went and looked at them. Once I found the one I wanted, that's when we sat down and started signing paperwork. so they could represent me as my agent. But yeah, I mean, this, I don't know. I'm just confused on this percentage thing. It's got me baffled. And then, of course, I like the idea that people are asking, okay, can we negotiate this? Uh, of course, 2 point whatever, 2.3, 2.4%. When you talking about homes that are, well, I know it's probably not that much out there with you, Carol, but out here in California, where we're paying 3, 4, 5, $600,000 just for a mid-range home. So I mean that could come out
Right.
to be a nice little chunk of change. So, but I don't know. It's some rough stuff out here. There's some. And then again, why are you beating up on these agents? They put in a lot of work. I mean, I know a few different real estate agents. A very dear friend of mine is a real estate agent. And when somebody wants a home and she's representing a buyer, man, she's got a lot of work in front of her. You know what I'm saying? Well, even when she's got somebody she's selling for, I mean, she prefers to sell, I guess, because she does get a bigger percentage. But it ain't like you can just throw it out there and somebody gonna come by it in the next, day, hour, whatever. It might take a few months. Then you got to go through the process. Okay, well, I don't like the way this is in the house. Can we change that? Well, can we redo the floors? Well, it needs to be painted. All these different negotiations, and I don't know. I think the agents earn their money, so that's my take on it.
I mean, I agree with you. When it was time for me to do mine, like you say, they drove me around. I had the option to look and pick and choose, and negotiation was available, and I didn't have to sign anything until I said, yes, that's the one. But now it's like they're locking you into something that you may not want. And you're right. Real estate agents, they deserve every bit of commission that they get because they are working tirelessly. And it isn't a consistent thing to where, they receive this on a daily basis. It may be, like you say, months before they even sell something. So um, I, I I don't understand the percentage either. Who gets what? Is it full for the agent or does a homeowner and them split it? I don't get it. It didn't make sense to me either, Ed. So hmm.
Yeah.
Um, well, I agree also with you guys. It's different landscape, and when it comes down to percentages, I don't think it comes uh, that the homeowner or the seller is gonna obtain. I think it's more of a able to negotiate and also ask, services are you providing? What am I getting? Um, I think I read a little something about some people were in some areas locked into a certain percentage, and some people were complaining that they did not know where all this commission, what is it paying and stuff. I think it's a little to be more transparent and stuff like that. Sorry about that, but so I think it's trying to be more transparent. I think you have more of a negotiating uh now table. You could kind of negotiate. Probably they can increase their percentage of earnings by providing a little more service, or maybe stripping down a little bit of the service to get a lower percentage if the seller or buyer wants a lower, um well, the buyer, if they want a lower percentage, you know what I mean. And sometimes even with these homes, we're tight in purchasing because we have hedge fund and money that's been sitting and waiting to make purchases, and now they're playing the retail, the real estate market as a stock market, if you actually look at it, because they come in and start buying homes right off with cash, and then sometimes you have buyers and that they're like, oh, okay, cash, I'll take that, and us sometimes our regulars folk, we have it in escrow, we have it put away, and it takes time to transfer. But sometimes, most of the time now, a lot of people are getting outbid by this this hedge fund money, this money that's been sitting there from these corporations or these hedge fund managers and stuff, and they buy tons and tons of homes. And even since the last administration didn't really got on top of it, and also we had scandals about, like in Chicago, how they were using AI to artificially inflate the rental prices and mortgages so it could better suit the person that has the home and had it on this certain website. And then so many different uh homeowners and businesses got in that website that they were able to inflate that rent cost and that mortgage cost, even though they did not have those apartments occupied. So it's been happening, and they kind of cracking down on a little bit of the AI stuff, but they need to crack down a little more on this wealthy, super rich hedge funds using our real estate as a stock market, as a, something to play with. And you know
Well, I don't believe that these hedge funds should be allowed to buy single family dwellings. You know what I'm saying? If they're gonna buy something, then they can buy some apartment buildings. They can build some apartment buildings, whatever, right? But leave the single family homes.
mm,
For people that trying to obtain the American dream. I mean, again, real estate is, for a lot of people that don't realize it's the first. It's 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the biggest purchase that a person ever makes, right?
Right.
As well as like me, I'm not a rich guy. I mean, I'm comfortable, but I'm not a rich guy, right? But all my wealth is in my home. I mean, that's just where it is. I mean, if it wasn't for the
mm-hmm,
fact that real estate values going up, I'd probably be upside down. I don't know, but because of it being going up, okay, well, if I decide to dump it today, I got me a nice little chunk of change I can run away with,
yeah,
But
yeah,
Right. Right.
but yeah, they need to stay away from single family dwellings. I mean, I wouldn't like,
even
and I don't think it should be even a hedge fund. I mean, management companies, real estate developers, stuff like that. I mean, when you talking about people is doing hedge fund stuff, again, it's all about the profit, right?
mm-hmm,
So bottom line, if the market goes down, they not gonna lower their prices. They gonna raise their prices regardless. Just because why?
Hmm.
It's all about the bottom line. It's all about the profit.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean, we
and
got places out here in California, Carol, downtown LA. We got great big skyscrapers, whatever, right?
Right.
Oh, over $3,500 a month.
yeah,
Yeah,
Lord.
I mean it's crazy. Now, don't get me wrong; that building's got everything in it you want. I mean, it's got markets in it. It's got shopping in it. It's got gyms in it, and all that kind of stuff. But
hmm
3,500 a month.
yeah,
No
That's
way.
that's
that's crazy.
high. And also another thing that I was reading on, when some of these large corporations or hedge funds own these apartments or homes, trying to get something fixed can take a very long time because they have you running through hoops and all that. This gives them, a lot of these people that own these homes, these wealthy companies or corporations or hedge fund managers, they make it difficult for a rentee trying to get like a window fixed or plumbing fixed and stuff like that. It takes them weeks, even months. One case,
Then they
one
want to blame you for it.
Yes, and then they want to blame you. So in
Right.
that same article, they were saying take pictures before you even put anything in your apartment or home that you're renting, because yeah, they use those type of tactics. They take for a long time. You have to contact a company, and the company might not even be around the premises. You might have a manager, but you might have to still contact the main company to get some stuff done. And it takes a while, and they utilize that so they won't put in money into these apartments or homes because they're trying to what make the most money they
Of
can.
course, of
Mm-hmm.
course. I remember one of the last places I rented, dude. Uh, I mean, I was there 6, 7 years at least, right? But anyway, a lot of people don't realize carpet is supposed to be replaced every so often. Walls are supposed to be painted every so often, right? So
Right.
now I'm in this house beyond that time frame. Now, when I leave, he want to charge me for the carpet. He want to charge me for repainting.
Mm-mm.
Dude, you must have got life twisted, partner. That's not how this goes. I mean, I'm here beyond the time when you were supposed to automatically do that.
Right.
Okay, so no, I took him to court. He had to give me my money. He,
Good for
he
Yeah,
you.
definitely he definitely had to give me
Good
my
for you.
money. So
a
Because of
I
great
course, residing there, you're gonna have wear and tear, and like you say, they're responsible for all of that, depending on
that
yeah,
how
part.
long you've been
yeah.
there. Yeah.
And a lot of these rentees, well, not rentees, but these people that are renting out their homes or apartments, they are betting that you don't know the guidelines and
Ignorant
stuff
of the
like that.
law.
Yeah. That's
Hmm.
true.
And
That's
Yeah,
true.
if you need to find out, go to your local housing and
housing
renting.
authority. They'll take care of you.
Yeah.
They will tell you
They
the
really will.
guidelines, how much they could raise your rent, what's the percentage they could raise it, how how often they need to come fix. Because if they're raising your rent, they need to come fix your stuff, and not
Well,
even if it's broken. If it's just to maintain the apartment as a living, uh, uh, as a living space,
right,
and
Yeah.
maintain
right,
it up to
And
code.
a lot of them know that, based on your history of rental or your credit, they know that you can't go too many places. So they feel like they've done you a favor by placing you in their home.
well,
And so they feel like you're just a sitting duck to whatever it is, because you should be grateful that you're there.
well. They don't know me very well, so. But anyway, we be on that little time frame. Let's get into the next set of promos while I go check these comments, and then we'll get into our last article. Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
Hustling jingles, $10 a shot. Birthday beats and holiday knocks. Gotcha covered for the ones you love. Personalized joy like a custom glove. Get your jingle hot and fresh. info@blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford. Got a catchy tune for your babe. Poppin' beats like dreams we crave. For Mama's Day or Papa's cheer, let's make smiles from ear to ear. Get your jingle hot and fresh. info@blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford.
Well, we ain't got no more comments, but on the other side of that, we need to. Well, I don't know that we need to. We are available for, like I said, we got Easter coming up. We got, Mother's Day coming up, Father's Day coming up, graduations coming up. all kind of different stuff going on. I mean, these jingles are a lot nicer than having a card that people either throw away or tuck away in the drawer and don't look at it for 10 years, stuff like that. So, especially in our community, I mean, come on now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate cards, but I can't see them things no more. I can't tell what's being written on them or whatever. I can't see whether it's funny or whether it's, beautiful or, whatever it is. I just can't see all that no more. But these jingles work for me. They work for me. I really like that. So anyway, this next one is, I don't know. I guess we want to call this satellite pollution. So anyway, let's check this out because Elon and SpaceX they got a lot of satellites up there and it's causing issues. So check this out.
Today on Coffee Time, Starlink's bright future and its shadow on the night sky. When you gaze up at the stars on a clear night, you might not expect to see a line of lights moving steadily across the sky. But for many skywatchers and astronomers, that's becoming a regular occurrence, thanks to SpaceX's ambitious Starlink project. Designed to provide global high-speed internet access, especially in underserved or remote areas, Starlink has made incredible technological strides. As of early 2025, over 7,000 Starlink satellites are already orbiting Earth, with plans for many more. But with this leap forward in connectivity comes an equally significant challenge: how these satellites are changing our view of the night sky. A train of lights across the sky. Shortly after a Starlink launch, the satellites often appear as a train of bright, evenly spaced dots moving in a straight line. This visual spectacle can be both awe-inspiring and concerning, depending on your perspective. These lights tend to fade from visibility after a few days, once the satellites reach their operational altitude of about 342 miles, 550 kilometers, but in those early hours, they're clearly visible, even in urban areas. For many, especially amateur astronomers and curious stargazers, the sight is novel. But for scientists who rely on a dark, unobstructed night sky to study distant galaxies, track asteroids, or observe supernovae, the bright trails of satellites can be a frustrating disruption. The astronomer's dilemma. The growing number of Starlink satellites has created serious challenges for astronomical research, especially for observatories that use long-exposure imaging. Optical interference. Bright streaks left by satellites passing through the field of view can ruin photographs of deep space, complicating efforts to study far-off celestial phenomena. Radio frequency interference. Starlink satellites also emit electromagnetic noise that can interfere with radio telescopes, which rely on detecting faint signals from space. This double impact, both visual and electronic, has prompted urgent calls for mitigation from the global astronomy community. What is SpaceX doing about it? To its credit, SpaceX has responded to some of the backlash from astronomers. Among their mitigation efforts, darkening designs. The company introduced darker-coated satellites known as darksats and later implemented sun visors, visorsats, to reduce satellite reflectivity. These changes have made a difference, though not enough to fully eliminate interference. Lower orbits. Keeping satellites at slightly lower altitudes makes them less visible from Earth and reduces the amount of time they reflect sunlight after sunset or before sunrise. Despite these efforts, the sheer volume of satellites planned for deployment means the problem persists. Even if each satellite is dimmer, thousands of them together still contribute to overall sky brightness. A call for global cooperation. With thousands more satellites planned, not just by SpaceX, but also by competitors like Amazon and OneWeb, the situation has prompted calls for international regulation and coordination. Scientists, satellite operators, and policymakers must work together to balance innovation with preservation. Astronomy is more than just science. It's a source of inspiration, discovery, and cultural heritage. The view of the stars has guided human thought for millennia. Losing that view, even partially, is a concern that extends beyond the scientific community. What's next? The future of satellite-based internet is undoubtedly bright. But so is the need to protect the night sky for science, for education, and for the simple human joy of looking up and seeing the stars. Striking that balance will take continued innovation, collaboration, and a willingness to prioritize both progress and preservation. What do you think? Have you seen Starlink satellites passing overhead? Do you think the benefits of global internet access outweigh the impact on astronomy? How should companies like SpaceX work with scientists to protect our view of the universe? Join the conversation and share your thoughts. Now, back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, man, I mean, I can't see the stars no more. So, I mean, you know, I used to love, especially like when I used to ride a lot, and you know, we'd go out and we'd go places where, you know, it was remote and camp out and whatever, you know, where no light pollution, being able to look up, and man, it was just so beautiful laying out there looking up at them stars at night and stuff, you know. But I just can't imagine it being polluted now with these satellites. And then when you talk about the number of satellites, you know, like I said, not just what SpaceX is doing, but all these other companies. Man, I mean, I guess we're number one. Not only are we lucky to be able to see the stars at all with all of them satellites up there, but also, I don't know. I mean, do they have like a satellite control like we got air traffic control? I mean, pretty soon you ain't even gonna be able to shoot rockets up without hitting a satellite before you get to space. I mean, it seemed like it's a web of satellites that's all around the whole planet. So I don't know. It just sounds crazy to me. Do we really need all of these satellites? I mean, don't get me wrong. I appreciate, you know, the internet being in places where they normally can't get it. You know, all the different things a satellite does for us. But, you know, does it have to be everybody got their own satellite up there? Come on, man. I mean, maybe we can partner up and, you know, have less satellites, but it's doing everybody's stuff. Just like when cell phones first came out, you had certain satellites up there and they were selling space. You know, you could buy so much space on their satellite to provide cell service. You know, now everybody got their own satellite, so it's crazy. But go ahead, Carol. You got something? Did I lose you, Carol?
I'm sorry, Ed. I was at the door. No, to me it is. It's like a traffic jam of satellites up out there. And even though I can't see the stars anymore either, I used to love doing that. So I don't know. I just remember those big triangular towers that would be sitting in certain places down here on land. And I guess I don't know if that was for the regular landlines that we have for telephones, or if it was something for the cell services, or for the internet, or what. But I know that, you know, satellites are necessary. Like you said, it is a lot of places where you're just not able to get cell service or a satellite service, where now you're able to, based on the satellites that they're placing up in you know, the sky. But do we need that many? And do they all continuously work? If they don't work, why not pull the ones down? I'm understanding that once they are non-functional, they never remove them. Or, you know, they just sit up there stagnant. And like you say, are they in the way from people being able to actually go up to the space shuttles and you know, different things that they're trying to work on that we need down here on Earth? I don't understand why we have so many up there.
Right. I agree. I mean, again, cell towers, I mean, they're everywhere. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But now they're kind of going away. I mean, there's still quite a few of them. I mean, Out here, we got some that are disguised as palm trees. They look just like palm trees, but in actuality, they're cell towers. It just,
What?
yeah, yeah. They got a bunch of those in, more in the inner part of the city or whatever, where aesthetics matter, you
Mm.
know. But again, you get where areas where okay, ain't a whole lot of housing around here, whatever. It'll be just a tower, But
Mm.
but again, I mean, even like with like I can get my cell service, right? I can get cell service because they're piggybacking off of other people's towers, but I can't get internet from my provider because they don't have that in my area yet.
Oh wow.
But again, it's all coming through, what some sort of, I don't know. Well, let me quit lying. I'll leave that alone. I don't know where it's coming from. So anyway, what's your take on this, Pedro? I know you got a different twist on it.
Um, yeah, also, yeah, Starlink has a lot of satellites. There were complaints about the color that he had used on the satellites, that was spottable during the night sky, the reflections and stuff like that, of the satellites. But for Elon Musk to provide this service, he needs a fleet of satellites, and he does have a big contractor, the United States. He's also have contracts with China. He was in talks with them. I don't know how that deal's going, but there's already a confliction there, and plus he was, from some of the news, what I heard, Elon Musk has talked to Russians government, with Putin, about having Starlink assist or come with a contract with them, and that's conflict of interest. Three main countries in one type of network under one guy, and he might have a master
Well,
switch.
don't
And
forget don't forget Canada. He was providing internet to Eastern Canada as well.
yeah,
Mm.
so you know, and he has a lot of control. There is a rumor, uh that somebody has said, and it's, I don't know how valid this is, but it's coming from group, a hacker group named Anonymous. They put out a statement that they have proof of some wrongdoing in the last election by these. I think that individual or the type of service they kind of used. But that aside, is something to keep an eye on. But that aside is Elon Musk providing logistics for us in battlegrounds, and then providing to Russia or even China. It's a big conflict for all three countries. The only one that benefits is Elon Musk. He'd be able to, I don't know, have a God mode where you could see all the stuff, or even a God mode that he has a button to power them off. Let's say a government is not playing good with him, he could just turn it off. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Right.
Why is he so embellished in, like, so deep into our government? He tried to do this with Germany's, one of the parties in Germany's the right wing party. People compare them to, to the H word, that dude that did all that, all that, unaliving.
Mhm.
But this dude puts so much money in politics. It's going to benefit him and his companies. And Starlink is what he wants to provide internet around the whole world. But also, just like how we have internet service providers, they are able to kind of see our traffic. They do have policies and stuff in place, but what we know about Elon Musk, how he obtained Twitter and then fired almost 80% of the workforce in Twitter. Plus, it the way he managed it and the way he takes down posts, the way he bans people because they criticize him, is the same type of way he's gonna run his satellites. You don't want
Yeah.
someone. You don't want someone that real quick he's like, oh, let me take that account off. Let me ban this person. Let me ban that. I know they say he's a genius. I think he's a smart individual. Don't get me wrong, but a genius is far off the point. Um, if he would thought ahead of time, he would have known Twitter is what you do in Twitter. You tweet. What you do in X, no one knows, honestly. There's no word, no adjective, no nothing.
Right. Right.
Also, with
Right.
the verification button, if he knew these verifications were for legit corporations and companies. When he came and you were able to buy these check marks, people started making fake pages and saying, I'm this company and putting a check mark just to show him how dumb this move was. And people were falling for that
Well,
these were legit companies. And
he's a smart man that does a lot of stupid stuff. That's exactly what he is. So,
Right.
you know. But
hmm
anyway, on that note, it is 10 a.m. I didn't mean
hmm
to cut you off at any point, Pedro. But like I said, I didn't want to run too far. You sound like you was getting on a roll there, my brother.
Oh, that's more information, but no, I'm almost done. I was done. But
You
look,
know,
think about this. He has a technology company with the internet provider. He has going to outer space. He has a car company. All these are different sectors that can benefit in different aspects in government with all these contracts that he's obtaining, but he wants to cut everything for the average person. It's wrong.
exactly. So on that note, promise to have more stuff on the line. We can't not have more stuff on the line as much havoc as he's causing for everyday Americans, well, everyday people around the planet, really. So on that note, everybody please like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, you know, hit the notifications, all that kind of good stuff so that more of this can get around to more people. It really does help. We appreciate everybody, and we will definitely be back again tomorrow. So everybody enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later.